This review is on the Smith & Wesson M&P9L. The case comes with a hole up here for a lock to secure and transport, the M&P logo on front and also on the back latches. Overall design of the case, very rugged, sturdy design. You can drop this, step on it, and it's not going to damage what's inside. As with most semi-automatic handguns sold in Australia, it comes with 2 magazines. Both magazines are restricted to a 10 round capacity for target shooting. Magazine design has a steel upper and a plastic lower. This is a really good design for use at ranges with cement flooring. If you drop these, it's not going to damage, it's going to hit the lower. 2 extra grips, which I'll go into detail about these later. The safety and instruction manual. And the pistol, which is not loaded and I'll show as being safe and clear. Now the way I'll conduct this review is going to be based on a framework used by Nut and Fancy. If you guys haven't seen Nut and Fancy, check him out below. He does really in-depth reviews on a wide variety of products. We'll be talking about the philosophy of use, the specifications, the ergonomics of the gun, the accessories available, reliability and value for money. I'll also include 2 extra videos after this one on the accuracy of the gun, which will be taking it out to the range, testing it out there, and also field stripping. What we're looking at here is really a service pistol aimed at a law enforcement market. M&P stand for military and police. This would be a great service pistol for security or also policing. In 2005 the M&P came out. The first police in Australia to adopt it as their service pistol were the South Australian Police in 2008. In 2010 the Victorian Police also transitioned from the revolver to the M&P 40. There are models available for target shooting. The M&P Pro is basically the same as this, only difference being the sights have fibre optics. Apart from that, the slide and the barrel length, also the frame, are exactly the same. This weighs in at 25.2 ounces without magazine. The L indicates the long slide in M&P9L. The normal M&P9s come out with a slide finishing roughly around about here, with the barrel extended out to make legal within Australia. The overall length is 8.38 inches, height is 5.5 and width 1.2. The trigger pull has a 6.5 pound trigger pull. The barrel in this is 5-inch long barrel. The barrel and the slide are both covered in a finish called melanite, individual to Smith & Wesson, that they say is scratch and rust resistant. The finish is actually infused into the metal and made for a hardness of 68 HRC. Ergonomically speaking, this is a fantastic handgun to hold. The framework is very similar to the 1911, allowing the pistol to ride high up into the webbing between the thumb and the forefinger. The back straps here that are interchangeable is something that Smith & Wesson brought out and now is being adopted with a few other companies like the Gen 4 Glocks. They're interchangeable between the medium, small or large provided, which is fantastic for customization depending on the user. I'm just changing it over to a large grip and it's really just that simple. Twisting, turning, and now that's locked into place. The slide stop is ambidextrous. The mag release is right hand but can be switched over for a left hand strong shooter. That's explained in the manual as well and no gunsmithing is required for that. The scalloped slide serrations here are really nice. They nice to grip onto. You get a firm grip on it, no slipping. I actually really like that. I don't know if we can zoom in. I'm trying to get a better shot of that. Right there. The only gripe I have about this handgun is the grip is just a little bit too smooth. I much prefer a harsher, coarser grip around the handgun. But apart from that, this is a really nice handgun to hold. Because of the Picatinny or Weaver railing system inbuilt into the frame, you have a wide variety of laser lights and foregrips available. There's also a company called Crimson Trace that bring out a grip that has a laser inbuilt. It slides on the same way as the factory slide grips go on. The only difference being, with the Crimson Trace, they have a slight elevation here where the laser stands out. Doesn't affect the holstering of the gun, no modifications are needed. The other option for a laser is from a company called Laser Max. They have a guide rod laser inbuilt into the guide rod. You can also get the factory sights changed with fibre optic sights, tactical sights or night sights. Of course, various different triggers available, and Smith & Wesson also brought out a tool which has a hole right here to attach a lanyard if so desired. Now, I've fired approximately 300 rounds through this using both factory and reload ammunition. I've had absolutely no problems with it cycling. There's been no jams. The only issue I had was with the magazines. Magazines are very tight. I suggest probably putting in 10 rounds overnight of the snap caps just to get the spring down. But apart from that, the cycling of the gun has no issues. The manual does specify not to use +P+ ammunition. However, you can use lead projectiles through this barrel, unlike the H&K or the Glock, which is fantastic if you reload or if you shoot reloads. Won't have any issues. I picked this up about 6 months ago. When I picked it up, it was priced similar to the G34 at $1,000 Australian dollars. You can get them second hand, and I have seen them as cheap as $650. However, with second hand, you just don't know whether it's been abused or taken care of. Now, the M&P is Smith & Wesson's answer to the Glock. Will it take over the Glock market? I doubt it. Glock's got a very strong foothold in the law enforcement department. However, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see this in more security and policing in Australia. Value for money, if you can pick this up for about $800 second hand, I'd say buy it. It's a great gun for shooting at close range and 25 yards. Anything above that, at 50 yards, you're sort of swaying a bit. But as far as a fun service pistol, it's definitely worth getting. We'll be doing range reviews very soon on this, taking it out to the range, seeing what it does. Also doing a detailed field strip, and they'll be uploaded next couple of weeks. We'll also be uploading more video on products, gear, guns, so your support is greatly appreciated. Please rate, subscribe, comment and favourite.